Welcome to the first ever episode of the Drunken Zombies Podcast.
Woo.
I'm Adrian.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to be kicking this off with all of you.
Yay.
Get ready for your daily dose of addictive zombie stories.
Daily.
We're talking brains,
Yeah.
mayhem, and all those chills you love.
Those chills.
And joining me for this wild ride is our resident zombie expert,
Yeah.
Julia.
Hey, everyone. I'm Julia.
Hi.
I think we all have a little morbid fascination with
Yeah.
zombies, right?
Yeah.
They represent those primal fears we have.
It's true.
The unknown,
Yeah.
societal collapse, you
Yeah.
name it.
You name it.
But tonight's story adds a unique twist.
Okay.
We'll be exploring Jake Marlow,
Jake Marlow.
a zombie hitman
Wow.
trying to survive in a world where the living can be even more dangerous than the undead.
Now, that's something you don't hear every day.
No, you don't.
And as if that's not intriguing enough.
Right.
We have the Citadel, this mysterious fortress hiding a dark secret.
Ooh.
Plus, the truth about Jake's daughter will totally blow your mind.
Oh, my goodness.
But before we jump into all that,
Yeah.
let's set the scene.
Okay.
Imagine a post-apocalyptic world.
Uh-huh.
The air thick with the stench of decay.
Yeah.
Buildings reduced to crumbling husks.
Yeah.
This is where we meet Jake Marlow,
Okay.
our hitman,
Right.
eking out a solitary existence in his heavily fortified home.
A heavily fortified home.
But everything changes when he receives a chilling message.
Oh.
Your daughter has been taken.
Wow. This message throws Jake into a tailspin.
Yeah.
It's not just that his daughter Lily has been kidnapped.
Right.
Their relationship is pretty strained, especially after her mother's death.
Oh, wow.
This mission is personal.
Yeah.
It's fueled by guilt,
Yeah.
regret,
Oh.
and a father's desperate need to protect his child.
Wow.
This story asks a powerful question.
Okay.
What does it mean to be human? In a world that's lost its humanity.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
This story isn't just about mindless zombies.
It's deeper than that.
It digs into those deeper questions about what it means to be human.
Deeper.
So Jake immediately jumps into action,
Okay.
gathering his weapons and gear. This is no ordinary survivor
Right.
we're dealing with.
Right.
He's a trained hitman
Wow.
who used to take down the undead for the elite
Oh.
and his home.
What about it?
It's practically a fortress,
A fortress.
which hints at a mysterious past will unravel later.
I like it. It's like the author is giving us clues. Breadcrumbs.
Uh-huh.
Leading us deeper into Jake's character
Yeah,
and this world.
exactly. So Jake heads out into the city.
Okay.
And it's not just the shambling hordes he has to worry about.
Oh, no.
The living are just as dangerous.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so. He's traveling through silent streets,
Okay.
past hollowed-out buildings,
Right.
each step a risk.
Yeah.
He needs to find Lily,
Right.
but he has no starting point.
Oh, no.
His first lead takes him to a dimly lit bar,
Okay.
a haven for survivors.
Right.
That offers a glimpse into the darker side of this post-apocalyptic world.
Oh.
It's there he meets Rennick,
Yeah.
a contact from his past,
Yeah.
who seems to know his way around this chaotic landscape.
The bar scene is so important because it reminds us that even in chaos, people crave connection.
Right.
There's a sense of community forming, a
Well, do you-
desperate attempt to rebuild some semblance of order.
It's a fragile order, though, isn't it?
Very much so.
Rennick drops a bombshell.
Uh-oh.
Lily is being held captive by the Citadel,
The Citadel.
and they're very interested in people who are immune to the zombie virus.
Oh, really?
No, that raises some interesting questions.
It does.
Julia,
Yes.
can you shed some light on this immunity angle?
Sure.
Why would it be so valuable in a world overrun by the undead?
Immunity is like gold in this world, Adrian. It's not just about survival.
Right.
It's about power.
Uh-huh.
The Citadel clearly wants more than just to survive the apocalypse.
Right.
They want to control it.
Oh.
Imagine what they could do with someone who can't be infected.
Mm.
It's a tantalizing prospect, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And, things are about to get really intense. Because Jake is no longer alone.
Oh.
He ends up joining forces with a group of allies,
Okay.
each with their own reasons for hating the Citadel.
I see.
We have Mia, the resourceful scavenger,
Okay.
Carter, a strategic thinker.
Right.
And Dr. Lena Hoffman.
Dr. Lena Hoffman.
A rogue scientist.
Okay.
Who I suspect will play a crucial role in all of this.
A crucial role.
Together, they hatch an ambitious plan.
Okay.
A daring assault on the Citadel itself.
Wow, what's fascinating here is the shift from a lone wolf to a team fighting for a shared cause.
Right.
They all have their own motivation, but their hatred for the Citadel unites them.
Right.
It raises a question for you listeners out there.
Okay.
Have you ever had to depend on others in a dire situation?
I think we all have at some point. But remember, this is a story filled with danger.
Okay.
Their attack on the Citadel doesn't go quite as planned.
Uh-oh.
They severely underestimated their enemy. The Citadel isn't just a group of elites hiding in a fortress.
Right.
They've weaponized the undead.
It's a brilliant twist, don't you think?
It is.
The Citadel takes something terrifying, the undead, and turns it into a tool of control.
Wow.
The stakes are definitely higher now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The story takes a dark turn as Jake is captured and brought before the leader of the Citadel.
Okay.
Alexander Creed.
Alexander Creed.
Creed is a fascinating character. Charismatic, yet ruthless.
Yeah.
The perfect villain.
I see.
And this is where we learn the true scope of his ambition. He explains that Lily's immunity is the key to his plan for world domination.
World domination.
She wants to control the undead.
Wow.
Use them as an army to reshape the world as he sees fit.
This is where we see that sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't the ones with rotting flesh.
Right.
It's the humans who exploit, manipulate, and use others for their own gain.
Yeah.
It's a chilling reminder that even in a zombie apocalypse, human nature can be the biggest threat.
Absolutely. But Jake's not giving up that easily.
Good.
With the help of his team.
Okay.
He manages to escape.
Great.
Sadly, it comes at a cost.
Oh, no?
Dr. Hoffman sacrifices herself to ensure their freedom. But in her final act of defiance, she creates a device that could disrupt the Citadel's control over the undead.
This is a turning point in the story. Dr. Hoffman's sacrifice adds another layer of complexity.
It does.
It reminds us that even in the face of horror, there's still love, courage, and selflessness.
Exactly. They regroup, battered, but not broken, ready for the final showdown.
All right.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Right.
It's all or nothing.
The tension in the story is palpable.
It is.
This is about more than just survival now.
Right.
It's about the fate of humanity itself.
And with Dr. Hoffman's device, the undead turn on the Citadel in a chaotic frenzy.
Yeah.
And in the midst of it all, Jake finds Lily.
It's a moment of victory.
It is.
But it's bittersweet.
Exactly, because as Creed is defeated, a new threat emerges. The virus has mutated, becoming even more dangerous.
Wow.
The world outside the Citadel's walls is changing, growing more unpredictable by the minute.
Yeah.
But amidst all this devastation, there's a flicker of hope.
A flicker of hope.
Remember that group of immune survivors they encountered during their escape?
Yes.
They represent the possibility of resistance, the potential for humanity to fight back from the brink.
It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure, adapt, and find a way forward.
It really does.
Their existence gives us a glimmer of hope in this bleak landscape.
It does, and it leaves us with a lot to think about, doesn't it?
It does.
What would you do if you were in Jake's shoes?
That is the question.
We'll be back in a moment to delve deeper into these themes and what this story really means.
All right. We left off with Jake and Lily reunited the Citadel in ruins and a new, even more terrifying breed of zombie on the loose. This ending leaves us with so many questions, Adrian. What does the story tell us about hope and sacrifice in a world that's become so dehumanized?
It's a lot to process, that's for sure. We see Jake go through a tremendous transformation. He starts as this lone wolf hitman, emotionally closed off, but his love for Lily forces him to confront those feelings. The apocalypse, in a way, forces him to redefine what being a father really means in a world stripped down to its bare essentials.
And it's not just Jake. We see other characters making incredible sacrifices. Mia Carter, and especially Dr. Hoffman, they all give up something precious in the fight against the Citadel. Their actions show the importance of community, of standing together when everything seems lost. It's a powerful message for all of us, especially in times like these.
You're absolutely right. Even in a zombie apocalypse, we need each other. But this story doesn't shy away from the darkness of human nature either. Alexander Creed, with his desire for power and control, shows us how easily someone can exploit chaos for their own selfish ambitions.
Creed is such a well-crafted villain. He's charming, intelligent, but ultimately driven by this insatiable hunger for power. It's terrifying because it makes you wonder, could someone like him really emerge from the ashes of our own society? What would we do if faced with that kind of threat?
It's a chilling thought, but that's what makes these stories so compelling. They force us to look inward, to confront the potential for both good and evil that exists within all of us.
And that mutated virus at the end, that final twist,
Yeah.
it's a reminder that there are always unknowns. Just when we think we've won, a new threat emerges. It's like a metaphor for the constant challenges we face in life, those unexpected curveballs that keep us on edge.
I completely agree. This story isn't just about surviving the zombies, it's about surviving ourselves, holding on to our humanity when everything around us seems to be falling apart.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If you were in Jake's shoes, what would you prioritize? Would you fight for a better future or just focus on protecting the ones you love? There's no easy answer.
There isn't. And that's the beauty of the story. It sparks those kinds of conversations. It challenges us to examine our own values, our own beliefs about what truly matters.
Exactly. And even though this is a story about zombies and the apocalypse, it reflects our own anxieties, doesn't it? It makes us think about the fragility of our own world, the potential for things to go terribly wrong. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder to cherish what we have and fight for the things that make us human.
It definitely is. But amidst all that darkness, the story also offers a glimmer of hope. Those immune survivors, they represent the possibility of a future where humanity can rebuild and adapt. It's a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable challenges, the human spirit can persevere.
That's a powerful message to leave our listeners with. This story is a microcosm of the human experience, exploring those fundamental themes of love, loss, sacrifice, and the will to survive.
Beautifully said, Julia. I think we've unpacked quite a bit in this episode. Now, for all of you listening, we want to hear your thoughts. What resonated with you the most? What would you have done in Jake's situation? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and rate the Drunken Zombies Podcast for more chilling tales of brains and mayhem. We've spent this episode exploring Jake Marlow's journey, through a zombie-infested world.
Right.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on before we wrap things up.
Okay.
Throughout the story, we see that even with hordes of undead roaming around,
Yeah.
the biggest danger often comes from other humans.
That's a common thread in so many zombie stories, isn't it?
It really is.
When society crumbles,
Yeah.
it's human nature that becomes truly terrifying.
Yeah.
The undead are a threat, sure.
Right.
But it's the living who will betray, manipulate, and exploit others for their own gain.
Alexander Creed is a perfect example.
Yeah, he is.
He wasn't just trying to survive.
Right.
He wanted to control everything and everyone.
Everything and everyone.
He represents that dark side of ambition,
Yeah.
the willingness to exploit even a global catastrophe for personal power.
His character makes you think about those in our own world
It does.
who might react the same way in a crisis.
Oh, yeah.
It's a chilling thought.
It is.
But it adds a whole other layer of complexity to the story.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about fighting off zombies.
Right.
It's about fighting off the darkness within ourselves.
Exactly. And that's what makes this story so powerful.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront those uncomfortable truths about human nature.
Right.
To acknowledge that the line between good and evil isn't always so clear.
The mutated virus at the end drives this point home even further.
Oh, yeah.
Just when you think Jake and his allies have overcome the odds,
Right.
a new, even more dangerous threat emerges.
Uh-huh.
It's like the story is saying
Yeah.
survival is never guaranteed.
Wow.
The world is constantly changing, and we have to adapt if we want to make it.
It's a sobering reminder that we can't become complacent. Even when things seem to be getting better,
Yeah.
there will always be new challenges,
Yeah.
new obstacles to overcome.
Right.
But as we see with Jake and the other immune survivors,
Yeah.
there's always hope.
There is.
There's always the possibility of finding strength in each other
Uh,
and building a better future,
right.
no matter how bleak the present may seem.
That's a powerful message to end on.
It is.
This story, with all its twists and turns, ultimately reminds us of what truly matters. Courage, resilience, compassion,
Yeah.
and the enduring strength of the human spirit.
And that's a wrap on our very first episode of the Drunken Zombies Podcast.
Woo!
We hope you enjoyed this look into the world of Jake Marlow.
Yeah.
Remember to subscribe.
Yes.
Rate the show.
Do it.
And share your thoughts with us on social media.
Uh-huh.
We'd love to hear your take on this chilling tale.
Yeah.
Until next time, stay safe out there.
Stay safe.
And keep your brains to yourselves.